All right, welcome
to
the
Hot Mess.
Mountain Mamas. Quite literally, we're twinsing today. I just noticed that. Look at that.
Check it.
Yeah, you can visit, when you come to Lake City, Colorado, you can visit 38 Degrees North.
Yes.
She has a storefront.
Mm-hmm.
She has all sorts of cool stuff that you can buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these sweatshirts, like I'm just going to do a little advertisement campaign. We should be sponsored, okay? But the sleeves are always long enough. I'm a tall girl, so
yeah. I don't like when my sleeves are too. I'm not as tall, but I don't like when leaves are like
leaves.
Sleeves.
It's the same thing.
Same thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't like when they like are too short.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So anyway, I just, we'll just throw
I
that
didn't
out
know
there.
that. That's what we just noticed because we looked at the
I
camera.
know. We looked at the camera. We're like, hey.
Seeing each other like next to each other.
So this is episode 36.
Yes.
And we are going to be talking about, I'm totally trying to
Say no.
say no. Thank you.
Practicing.
Dare to say no.
Dare to say no. Yes, if you were a kid in the 90s.
Yes. Then you
know about dare.
My mom gave me a whole bunch of coloring books like last year that are from that campaign. I probably have a half dozen. They're probably vintage by now.
Probably.
40 years old? 40 years old. Oh my
gosh.
Okay. No, not 40. 20.
Not that long.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This shows you where my brain is today.
20, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that old.
Can't even do math. Yeah. So that is so that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Junior
So
high.
say no. What have you said no to lately, Jacqui?
That's a good question.
This is practicing saying no, because we had an episode not too long ago about how it's good to say no to things and change and how good that can be for you. Mm-hmm. But you have to do something with it. Like you just can't say you're going to do something, especially if the Holy Spirit convicts you about something that you should do. Yeah. If you don't follow through and do it, then you're actually still being disobedient. So you can talk about it. So that's why I was asking the question.
Yeah. No.
If you said, or has God told you to say no to something?
Well, yeah. I mean, because we have talked many times about how great it would be to have like some kind of small group or youth group type thing for our kids, because there's nothing like that here going on that I know of. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And it just seems like there's a deficit there, but I am not in a place in life right now where I could spearhead that. Yeah. So even though I think it would be a great thing and I want to have something like that to send my kids to, and part of me is like, well, if nobody's going to do it, I should just do it. But then it's just not the time or the season for me. So,
especially when your heart resonates with it.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that your heart really resonates with.
Yeah.
Then it's harder to be like if somebody were to be like, hey Becca, can you teach soccer? I'd be like, no. Yeah. But if somebody asked me to do anything with horses, well,
man. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I was like trying to see if I could make something work. And I feel like the Lord was like, listen, you cannot take that on right now. Yeah. That's not for you to take on right now. Yeah. And so we were talking about just saying no to things that seem, I'm not saying no to being an alcoholic. I'm not saying no to, hitting the dispensary on my way home from Gunnison.
Or eating that whole plate of cookies.
Or eating that whole plate of cookies. Or whatever, right? Like drinking 2 liter of Coke in one sitting. Oh, I couldn't do it
I
anyway.
know, my stomach's like, whoa.
I couldn't do it anyway. But like, there's it's not like I'm saying no to things that are bad. Like sometimes you have to say no. I mean, not that all those are bad per se, but like are not what wouldn't be good for me or unpleasant or whatever. But saying no to things that resonate, saying no to things that actually are good things, can be hard.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Right.
It might be the right thing to do.
Yep. And you really have to analyze. I feel like that's one of those, I have a tendency to say yes to things that are like, oh, this would be good for our kids to do. Or this would be good for us to spearhead because like you were saying, there really isn't anything like that out here. So we should spearhead it and then maybe somebody else can take it over, which rarely happens, as is the common thing. It's like 10% of the people do 90% of the work or something. And so, it's one of those where sometimes it's like maybe what God is tasking you with, if God puts that on your heart, if it's not no, I don't want you to do it, but it's something that is a passion for you, is to start to pray for the workers to come and do it. But I know for me, that's kind of where I fell into. I come up, I don't even necessarily have other people come to me and are like, hey, will you do ... That like doesn't happen as often as I'm just coming up with it in my own head. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like the 4-H program we have. Yeah. I'm like, we should do this. Yeah. I'm going to spearhead it. Yeah. And then I was like, yes, we should do that. I'll come. And then I haven't. No, it's not. I'm not saying that. No, but like, just because the reality was, I didn't have room in my week for anything else. Right. Even though it's a good thing. Right. Yep. So practicing saying no is sometimes easier said than done. Yep. It's hard to say no to things that you resonate with and that you want to see happen. Yes. Yep. You're like, well, who else is going to do it? No one. I know. But I was thinking, you're kind of a doer person. Yep. And I'm kind of a doer person. Like neither one of us, I don't feel like, are just camped out on the couch chilling. Correct. That's just not so I think when we see a deficit, there's in our personality is to be like, oh, like, I can do something about that. Like I have that ability and, Yeah. There's, I guess it's like you're trying to touch on, there's different personalities out there. Yeah. We have a tendency to be like, oh, we see the need. Let's take care of it. We can do it. Yeah. Whereas there's some people who maybe you see the need, but maybe because of some kind of fear or mental block, you're like, I shouldn't because I don't have the skills or talent. Yeah. And I think some people are more like, some people are leaders and some people are more like helpers and followers. And we need all of those people. Yep. But some people are take the bull by the horns type kind of people. Some people are like, okay, if you get it started, I can jump in. Like there's different people. Yeah. I think you and I tend to be like, we'll just take the bull by the horns. Yeah. And make it happen. Yeah. And make it happen. Where like sometimes we need to let other people do that. God might be. We have a hold of the bull, but there's nobody to help us with the bull. Yeah. We're just getting whipped all over. And we're like, help us. It's so bad. Whip. What's that song? Wait, was that 90s song? You don't know. Never mind. I don't know. I was very sheltered in the 90s. Except for the DARE program. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. I just had like an inkling of it. Somebody in there is like, I know what she's saying. I'm sure there's somebody. So if you know what Jacqui's saying, please affirm her. Yeah, affirm me. Anyway, so practicing saying no. And I always have like 500 million things on the radar of I could do this next. Yes. So it's especially not for the different seasons. It's so true because like ski season ended, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, the sun's out. It's springtime. It's time to garden and plant and get. My Monday mornings are free. Oh yeah. What can I fill them with? That's a good point. It's like. But what can I fill them with? You guys can't see Kelsey. Yeah, you can't see her, but she's right here. She's like super excited about that too. But yes, let's plant seeds. Yeah. Yes. I know, I need to. You probably already planted yours. I'm way behind. I am always way too early and then my plants die. And then I'm always way too late and then they don't actually produce fruit. They're like, we're loving life, we're blooming. And then I'm like, sweet, look, we have something growing. And then it freezes. Dang it. Pretty much. Every single year. Yep. Every year. Yep. But so then I'm like, I'll just stick to things like potatoes and lettuce. Things that are frost hardy. Broccoli. And well, one year though, I did broccoli and I got one little tiny, I started it so early. I don't know, maybe it was the wrong kind of broccoli. But I had one little baby
broccoli like bloom.
Flower or whatever.
Yeah.
I know what it's called either.
And I was like,
I'm so excited.
So yeah, but this year I don't have chickens. Sadness.
Oh, I know.
And
so sad.
they got annihilated by a bobcat.
Bad bobcat.
Bad bobcat. But now I might be able to.
You could probably actually garden.
Yeah.
You want some manure? This is like not
yes, give me your manure. And I will go till.
Who else would like some poop?
Would you like poo for your garden? So proper.
You can say no.
Garden.
Maybe I can bring it back around. You can say no if you need.
Oh, say no. No! Well, your poo. No, I need to test my soil because the chickens have been in it and stuff.
Oh, I bet it's great.
I'm wondering.
I bet it's
yeah,
really
so
great.
I gotta see what if I need to. It might be.
Yeah.
Anyway, digression.
We
but
digress.
The chickens were getting into my garden because it wasn't fortified well, so they were just eating it.
Yep.
So now maybe
You
I was
can grow
gonna
something.
fortify it, but now I might just garden.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great.
So, but I'm thinking of all these things I can do, and that I want to do, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should do some of these other things.
Yep.
It just your day starts to get like, what are the 3 or 4 things that really are supposed to be priority right now?
Right.
Like Jesus
Right.
needs to always be at the top of that list.
Yep.
And my family needs to be at the top of that list.
Yep.
That means I have room for like
Maybe
one or
more
two
thing.
more things, maybe, depending on what they are and what their time requirement is.
Yep.
That are prioritized.
Right.
And then I was thinking, there might be days or weeks where you're like, oh, I have a little extra time and I have a little extra energy to put toward whatever.
Right.
But
Yep.
my priorities, the things that are getting my energy and my attention really can only be so many.
Yeah.
And otherwise, as you start to like juggle,
And things
like pot pies, they don't stay in the air very well.
Ooh, and it gets super messy.
I'm just saying I don't know. I'm like, juggle balls if you want, but juggle pot pie.
Juggle pot pie.
That's another story.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I just thought of like pie, like in your face.
Yeah.
And then I was like, or more than one pie.
Yeah.
And then,
That would burn too. Dang.
that's where my head goes. My head goes weird.
Well, and then my brain is like, imagines the pot pie falling all over.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what.
You got it.
I know.
That's so
baby.
exciting.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. So how do you, so you were saying that how you prioritize is you go very back to the beginning. Very back to the beginning? Back to the very beginning.
Very back to the beginning-ish.
Yes.
We have proper English here.
Yeah, I'm going to speak like Yoda.
Yeah.
And go ahead and remind yourself that Jesus should be at the top. And then your family is next.
Yeah. Because,
and then analyze and see. Because really it's like family can include, like, are we doing family things together?
Yeah.
Are we, like, and to have those things planned out on the calendar right now. Yeah. Do you operate by quarters? I'm just curious. I do not.
I don't. Do
Okay.
you?
I have just started thinking about that.
I don't.
I think only because of my business have I just started being like, oh, quarters actually make a lot of sense. I think only because skiing ended within the first quarter. And then the second quarter is like April, May, June.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think it's too like structured for my brain.
Yeah.
Because I frequently can't even figure out what's happening. Like I can't make a for sure plan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's happening next week.
Yeah.
So thinking about the whole quarter.
I know. Well, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm totally not
No,
there.
I
I was just curious.
Some people probably are able to do that. Yeah. I mean, my sister-in-law asked me like 3 days before Easter what our Easter plans were, and I was like, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Like, I don't know.
That was so Sarah Tubbs and I decided to do Easter together.
Okay.
The day before.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, I pulled out a leg of lamb. That's as far as I've gotten. I have some Easter decorations up that I put up the week before. Yeah. I was like, you can come if you want. I don't know what else we're eating, but
lamb.
It was actually the best Easter.
That's awesome.
That I've had in a long time. And I think it's because I didn't have the pressure of like, oh, we gotta have the Easter baskets and we've got to have this and we need to do that.
Yeah.
It was more centered around that.
Yeah.
So I said no to extra stuff in my house.
Yeah.
For Easter.
Oh.
And it was wonderful.
Yeah, that's good
too. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just very wiggly.
It was. You were so wiggly. So.
Yeah. No, that's good too. I think that's a good point that you make. That extra can also be things in our space. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what happens to you, but when I bring extra things into my space, and then if it starts to feel cluttery, I start to get like a little bit irritated, and then I feel like I have to clean. Right. Which, not that I don't clean, but like there's this like, oh, I've got to tackle this. This is too much. Yep. And then maybe that's not really where my energies need to be that day. Like cleaning is important, don't get me wrong, but I can't spend 24/7 cleaning. Yes. So if I'm creating an environment that feels cluttered and stressful, that's making me feel like I've got to pick up, I've got to, get everything sorted, I've got to reorganize. Then it's actually putting more things on my plate that might not have to be there. When we're have a nice environment. Yeah. And some people collect things and it's like clutter, but it's collection and it's like displayed in a way that doesn't feel that way. Yes. But I'm not good at that. Like I don't have that touch, I guess, of like, I have the touch of being able to get rid of stuff, throw it away. That's what I can do. But like sometimes people have things like, oh, it's like organized very artfully or something, you know? And so you don't feel like, it doesn't feel like clutter. It feels like collectibles or like interesting things to look at. Yeah. I cannot seem to pull that off. So it's just easier.
That's totally.
What? Are you trying to go over there? Huh? What are you trying to do? Do you want to see her?
Hi. I was just thinking too, with saying no, like it's been occurring to me that I need to say no to doing things like washing the dishes, which might sound kind of funny, but my kids are perfectly capable of washing and loading the dishwasher. My kids are perfectly capable of folding their laundry. My kids are perfectly capable of doing all these different chores around the house. And there are some things that I have to do that they cannot do. And so it's been one of those, it's actually been super freeing. So this is a tip. This is a tip for you guys. Yeah. Okay, so my girls, my 3 older girls do the dishes. So that's 9 to 11 right now. And I have started telling them, because I know for a long time it was like, would you please just do the dishes? Please get the dishes done. Now I tell them, you do not get dinner until the dishes are done. Oh. And then they're like, oh no.
That would work for like one of mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other two are like, meh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But
my kids love food too.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice when you can use food as a, no, I'm just kidding. A punishment. No, I'm kidding. No. But an incentive, like the sooner we get this done, the sooner we have space to be able to serve dinner. Right. Yeah. Right. So, and we have dishes to eat dinner on.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the reason why I started saying that. Is I was like, I can't get in here to even cook.
Yeah.
So.
And I hate that. That irritates me immediately when I'm like, I can't even
cook dinner. You're like, it's 5:30 and I need to have dinner ready in 30 minutes and I can't because there's stuff everywhere. Yeah.
Which happens easily when you have a big family. You have 5 kids.
Yeah. I now have 4.
I now have 4. And it just happens. It happens easily if you don't stay on top of it. Yeah. But so saying no to like, I think that's a good point. Like, there's some other people, your kids, some of the responsibilities. And also maybe there's days where you're just like, that's gonna wait today.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
I'll pay for it tomorrow, but it's gonna wait today.
Yeah, it's so true.
What are you doing? You're so wiggly.
So we've talked about, I guess, saying no to activities, projects. Saying no to things in your house.
Yeah, I don't decorate very much because it just brings in extra stuff.
I actually think your decorations are perfect.
It's minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal. It's very it's your brain isn't like
well,
like in some of the homes I've cleaned, around here.
Yeah.
There's some places that are rentals that have tons of clutter, and then you're like having to move stuff and dust around it.
I hate that. Yeah. And Christmas trees, I love Christmas and bringing in the decorations and doing the tree and stuff, but I hate that the tree takes up like
half
space.
your living room.
Half my living room. I know the kids always want like the giant tree. I'm like, that is not gonna fit. Like, where are we gonna put that? They're like, just walk around it. I'm like, I'm not like having to climb through the pine tree to get to the stairs.
In front of the TV.
Yeah, well, it's perfect right here. It would be perfect. Like, they're all, no, Mom. Yeah, one of them did suggest we just put it in front of the stairs. I'm like, I am not climbing over the tree
to get on the
and
stairs.
around to get the stairs. Like, that's not happening.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're like, it's fine, Mom. I'm like, well, you're 9. It's fine for you.
Yeah, I know.
But that's not going to happen for me. So anyway, no to extra things and no to even chores sometimes.
Yeah, doing some chores. So what have you said no to lately? We would love to know.
We would like to know. Tell us. What
because it's good. I think it's encouraging for us to hear each other even say like, well, I said no to cleaning this summer, and I said no.
That was a big one because that's extra income
huge.
for you guys.
Yeah, it was huge, and I also said no to spearheading like 2 or 3 things that I was trying to spearhead. Yeah. So what have you said no to? What are you practicing saying no to?
Yeah, we did say no recently to hosting church. We were hosting in the house. And we were like, this is just a season. We could do it on occasion, like as needed, but we can't commit to that every week now. So it can look different.
Each season, differently. Absolutely. Yeah, just because you're saying no to it now does not mean that the opportunity might not come up later, where then you are saying yes to it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So. Yeah. Anyway, let us know. What do you say no to? What are you saying no to right now?
Yep. And if you want to know more about maybe what we are saying no to, you can find Jacqi
at Jacqi Cambish, and that's
pretty much. Just search at Jacqi Cambish and you'll find her. And I'm at Becca Maria Eos.
I was overthinking
on all the platforms.
All the platforms,
except for like
the bench.
Certain ones. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So that is it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.